Hey, what's up you guys? This is Los Angeles, and today I have for you a tutorial for my power stick mod. This mod is very easy to make. It uses no tips at all, and it is very efficient and easy to make, given that it is a power mod. If you live in America, this mod can be made pretty much entirely out of a trip to Walmart. There are two different versions of it. This is a longer version. The reason why it's so long and heavy is because I use this to learn and practice things where I need a little bit more mass and length in order to get the feel of how something is done. And so I'll practice with this, and then I will transition to a different mod. Say for example my emboss mod or my redux mod. I use this mainly for practice. Anyways, let's get into the tutorial. First of all, you're going to need two Dr. Grip center of gravity pens. I know that some of you guys might have a hard time justifying buying two of these, but they are very cost efficient given the amount of parts that you can use in them. They have grips, two grips, tips, plastic rings, and we're going to be using the metal rings on the inside. But if you have a hard time deciding whether or not to get these pens, the tips from these can also fit perfectly into the top of composite caps. Just add a little bit of grips, and you have, say for example, one of my bell color mods. But we're going to be using the two metal rings. Next, we're going to be using two of these markers by Hampton Art. There are two different versions, make sure you remember that. There are the calligraphy ones, which are longer, and then there are the dye ink markers, which are a little bit shorter. So I'm going to actually be using two of the longer ones. We are going to be using two barrels, and we're going to be using one of the plastic tips. Okay, so next we will need Dr. Grip grips and some random grips like Sailor Gel. It doesn't really matter, you don't have to be picky. I use mostly scraps in order to make this mod. You can choose however design you want. I used two 4-ring sections of colors, and then two 3-ring sections, and then two 2-ring sections. Next, I'm going to take both of the tips out. So I have two of the barrels. Now, I have already cut these, but what they look like when they aren't cut is this. So we're just going to be cutting a little bit of this section off, and we're going to take out the ink tubes in the front and the back. There will be a plug on the inside of this. If you're really nitpicky like I am, then you can put something long and metal inside the front and push it out. But if you're lazy, you can just leave it in. It doesn't really add much mass at all. So now that I have one of these tips, I'm going to this is completely optional, but I cut the tip a little bit just to make it a little bit more balanced. It doesn't really matter. So I have my barrels and I have the tip. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to put the tip into the back end of one, and then you're going to hook in the back of the other one into this tip. So it makes a really long barrel. If you want to, you can super glue it. If it doesn't really matter, just be careful so the entire barrel doesn't bend, but it's easy to fix. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take, after we have cut off a little bit of the tip of the Hampton Art markers, we're going to be using the wider section, and it's literally as simple as this. You're just going to put it on the tip, and you're just going to twist it on like this. Bam. And then we're just going to slide the Sailor Gel grips or Papermate Profile grips, doesn't really matter. Like I said, however you want to do it, doesn't have to be the same way that I do it. And next we're just going to take, you can use any Dr. Grip sections that are recycled if they're small. These are actually probably the middle of the Dr. Grip grips, but I have two end pieces here. So we're just going to take maybe 1.5 centimeters of the grip, and we're just going to put it on the tip here, just like that. And there we go. It's, like I said, it's very easy to make, very efficient with the parts that it's used because there are no tips. I know a lot of power mods use upwards of 4 tips. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions or requests for tutorials, please let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.